Hey there, Black Stars. So, I was asked this question today, and I thought I'd answer it in a video. Um, it was asked by somebody who's completely uninitiated in Wing Chun and didn't understand what the purpose of the Muqian Zhang, the wooden dummy, is. And I realized that not everybody has access to the dummy, not everybody has training in the dummy. Most styles do not make use of the dummy. You see it mostly in Wing Chun, you see it somewhat in Choi Li Fut that they have a different dummy, and of course Jeet Kune Do circles will make use of it. And there may be a few others that make use here and there, albeit slightly different use. You'll see it in some Shaolin demonstrations as well. And there are a few different dummies out there, but this is the more or less common design. Mine is one that was homemade by a gent a few miles out of town. And I believe it was his first attempt, so the proportions are a little off, but hey, you make do with what you got, seeing as brand new ones cost anywhere between $700 and $1,500. Getting a homemade one for free certainly doesn't hurt. So let's point out a few things, some of the anatomy of a wooden dummy. You'll notice you've got the three arms here. The three arms are designed after the idea that you could have two arms coming up at you at the top. Seldomly do you ever see somebody with two arms attacking you from below. So having the three arms give you various arm positions for here, here, here. And remember, this is not an exact analog. This is, of course, something that you can kind of play with and be imaginative with, though there is a form in the Wing Chun system with it, and there are certainly set drills in other systems with their dummies, but you have to understand that it still is not a person, it is a piece of wood. The reason for the shortness of the arms is because it kind of represents the elbow, the cutoff point being the elbow, because when you're controlling somebody, when you're manipulating, when you are blocking and whatnot, you want to make sure that you're controlling them in a way that matters. When you control somebody at the wrist, they still have use of their elbow and shoulder. When you control somebody at the elbow, even their shoulder is largely, though not entirely, taken out of the game. This is an important concept because when I can control your elbow, I can control a lot of your center mass. It's very important. The other thing you'll notice, it's got a single leg coming out, not only to work things from below. Most people, when they're fighting, stand with 1 foot forward. Usually, you only kick with 1 foot at a time. So the one leg forward is really all that's necessary. You're getting around that central weapon. Now, one more thing that you can think of is that, unlike, say, a punching bag, you have a definitive center line here. You have the space between the arms, the central arm, and the leg. And having that center line allows you to work the idea of moving in and out and maintaining your center line while your opponent's center line is not on target at you. So being able to keep online at all times is a very important idea, and the dummy helps give you a rough visual for that. Now, one last thing, and this is not something we necessarily strive for in Wing Chun, but is certainly a very useful thing in general, and something that I do very strongly personally believe in, is body hardening. You do have the opportunity to work against a very hard material, depending on what your dummy is made out of. Some are made out of even teak, and having a hard material like that will allow you to toughen up mainly your forearms. Of course, you can work punching. If you're working barefoot, your heel, the ball of your foot. Wing Chun, we don't generally kick with the shin, though Sigan Kwok will call it a bong kick. And of course, we can play with it. But you have to understand that just because it doesn't necessarily follow Wing Chun curriculum, just because you're not necessarily a Wing Chun student, doesn't mean you cannot make use of the dummy. If you scour the internet for sales and deals, you can often find them for very cheap. I was extremely lucky. You don't find deals like this very often. But very frequently you can find them for $400, $500, $600 cheaper than brand new and still in excellent condition. Oftentimes people will buy one thinking, hey, I'm gonna get into this, and then they decide, it takes some space, I'm not that into it, and they sell it off. So you have to understand that it may not be curriculum for you, or you may not have the curriculum to use it as necessarily intended, but you can still make use of it. You still have the concepts of center lines, 3 major arm positions, 1 major leg position, a body to work against. You know, it's still an extremely valuable tool that I would recommend that you find some way, shape, or form to replicate. And once again, if you don't have the resources to get a dummy, you know, a bag is okay, a striking post like you've seen in some of my photos is okay, but having something that you can work in and out, work the ideas of center line, work the ideas of maintaining your line and facing and all that is good, and it offers you a training partner that you may not always have. And it offers you a training partner that never gets tired, never quits, never gives up until you're ready to be done with training for the day. It's an excellent tool, and I highly, highly recommend it. And in the near future, we will definitely be doing some drills and showing you a few more things on how to use it. So in the meantime, go play around, search around, look for a good deal. There are even plans on how to build one on a few different sites. You'll just have to scour around and look for it. But the information and the tools are out there. Highly recommended. Go get one. I'll talk to you guys later. Good journey.